Hello. Welcome in. Can you hear that? It's the sound of Sunday. The sound of Sunday night. Hobby night stream. Boom. Hello, Mark. Welcome in. Welcome everyone else in as well. Anyone watching live, welcome. Anyone watching this back on YouTube, hello and welcome. Sound's working, thank you. Welcome, Sunday night. Another Saddlebags and Sabres stream. Potentially, the last one for a little bit, because who knows? We might finish this lot. Hello, Benji. Welcome in. Just going to get my other thing set up. I always forget to do this until we're live, so let's get this other thing set up. But how's everyone? How is everyone today? Has anyone had some good streams? Good weekend? Is anyone hard at work on any hobbying? Oh. Turn that down. There we go. We always have that on. Right. Oh, wrong one. Oh, we're pressing all the wrong stuff. We're down. I'm a little bit warm. I've got this on because it's been freezing today. I'm actually a little bit hot. But hey. But welcome in, everyone. Yeah, so who knows? Maybe we will be finishing this cavalry today. Perhaps. So I did put it on my Instagram and I think on Facebook, but after last stream I just carried on doing a bit more painting just because I was really enjoying it. So I got this officer more or less finished. I just need to, I'm going to hit a wash on the metallic details, like the gold trim and the sword. And then probably highlight the gold, I think. So yeah, there's that guy done. And then something I've been doing in the background as well. Just because I was in the mood to do some painting, but I didn't want to paint what we've got, what we're painting on the stream. So I've made a start on this Union Cav. So this is what I was originally going to paint alongside these other two regiments on the stream, but I haven't. So I picked up the paintbrush and done them, or got on with them. So I'm actually quite a lot of the way through these guys. So I did the horses the other night, and today I've just been pottering away and started doing all the black detailing on the troopers as well as the uniforms. So I've got a couple of troopers that are almost done. Just at that point now where I'm just doing the black belts as well as the faces and like the skin. So yeah, and then all that would be left to do is the metallics and the firearms. So some of them I've modelled, or I think all of them I've modelled carbines on them. So I've got those three that are painted with the black straps painted and the skin, and then this is the rest of the regiment. So I need to go in and do the black. So that's like the boots, the belts, the pouches, the stirrups, and the brim of the cap and stuff like that. Are these plastic minis or metal? Benjamin asks. These are Perry's plastic. Perry's plastic from the Perry Cavalry box set. Not sponsored, which is a real shame. There we go. We've got some more, and I've really enjoyed painting these up, so I'll do some more. Going to do maybe another Union regiment. Because at the moment, I think I've got two Confederate cavalry regiments, and no mounted, that is, and no mounted Union. So I think I'll do another. I think in the box, yeah, the box gives you 12 miniatures. So these chaps are obviously in regiments of 8. So 3 box should make 4. I got that right? Yeah. No. Yeah. So yeah, I'll have to see what else I've got. I might have some more boxes kicking around. So yeah. So yeah, that's where we're at. I think we're just going to carry on with the Confederates for now and see how far we get. But yeah, right. Where did we leave off last time? I think we were doing the grey on the 1st Virginia Cavalry. In fact, in between now and last time, I broke one of the lances last stream. I've replaced that with some plastic, well, with a bit of this, which is from North Star, their spears. So I replaced it with a bit of that. And then I broke one of the flag bearers' poles. So I've gone and taken that off and put a North Star spear on there. Obviously it's going to have a flag on it, so you won't notice. And then I just decided to do that with the other guy, the other flag bearer. So I just cut his flag off, and I've put a North Star one on. So yeah, and I've got flags in the post. I basically printed like 30 copies of the Sundered Union flag sheets, purely because I was getting them printed by another company, and it was like a minimum spend of £5, which got me like 17 copies of a 3-page PDF. So yeah, I should be getting 17 times 3 of flag sheets, which isn't massively useful, but it is and it isn't. For the cavalry stuff, what I should have done is just broken down the PDF into individual pages, but then that would have probably meant I'd have still had to have that many pages, so I might as well just spread it across the Confederate flags, Union flags, and cavalry flags. So yeah, right, let's carry on. So yeah, we've got those flags in the post. That's cool. So they'll be turning up tomorrow. So if we get these chappies finished today, then I'll have the flags arriving tomorrow, which will be neat. I'm just going to get into it. Normally we got a few others in at the moment by now, but we haven't quite yet. So we'll see who turns up, and we'll stop and chat. At the moment we got Ben and Mark. Welcome in. Velcom. So yeah, black hats, isn't it? Yeah. Right. Okay. Just thinking about what hat colour I was going to go for. But 1st Virginia wear the black. The hat, I wonder about printing some more of these off, but if I'm honest, it was such a fiddle on the supports because they're so delicate. It yeah, I don't know if it's slightly put me off printing them or not. I printed some a while back and I had so many print failures. It was just took forever. And yeah, I had a few print failures which was rectified by just sorting the supports out. Like just a few bits where the support wasn't quite beefy enough. But then also I had it where I was cleaning up the miniature and snapping off stuff, which is just because it's quite thin sculpts, and that was a bit of an annoyance. But I think at the moment I haven't got. Yes. Oh, this is. Who's this guy then? So 1st Virginia cavalryman, but he's not got the uniform. He's just got a standard uniform. Can't believe I've only just noticed that. What I mean by that is the 1st Virginia had like black facings, black piping on their jackets, which I think make them stand out a bit more than the sort of normal cavalry, which is cool. But this individual sculpt does not have it. Whether that's deliberate or he's just been jumbled up in the 1st Virginia, who knows? Or maybe I just printed it wrong, who knows? I might have picked the wrong sculpt. God, I'm actually getting quite warm up here. I have to take my jumper back off. It's normally always really hot in here. Cold, I mean. The resin mini printing struggle, man. Yeah. It's, yeah, I think it's only because certain manufacturers, obviously, I don't know, I think, for a perfect prime example, Studio Story, they've gone for realistic proportions. And that just makes the print just that little bit thinner and more delicate. Whereas if I compared it to like the likes of Highland Miniatures, who have gone for like a real chunky look, and that tends to print up a bit easier, in my opinion. Yeah, that's the only problem. If you're going to do real delicate prints, they can be a pain in the ass to, one, print successfully, and two, get off the supports and stuff like that. Hey, John, welcome in. How are you? We've not long started, so you haven't missed much. Well, you've actually missed a little bit. In between now and last stream, I've started painting up a Union cavalry regiment because I had the cavalry there primed, ready to go, and I wanted to do some painting the other day, but I didn't want to paint up the cavalry, this cavalry that we've been working on. So I thought I'd start others. Kind of makes sense because I've got them sat there. And then the other night I built up my Perry Miniatures ambulance. Built. Did I say built or painted up? I meant built. I've built up the ambulance, so that'll be ready for when we're gonna paint it. Should be nice. It's quite a cool pose. It's like he's been shot. So he's sort of reeling back in the saddle. I wasn't that fussed about the casualty poses. But two things is, one, I printed a load of these miniatures and they kept failing. I think I've said this before on the stream, and when I was just going through what miniatures I'd have printed, I had the 1st Virginia. I had 7 models plus this guy, so I thought rather than firing up the printer again and all that faff, I'll just use this guy in it. Just have a casualty figure as a figure. Again, if they were multi-based, it would look a bit better. They're not. They're all individually based, so he's just going to be his own thing. But there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. You working on anything tonight, John? Or have you been working on anything this weekend? I've just been doing, yeah, painting up that Union Cavalry Regiment today. That's about it. I've ordered some infantry models, as there is a, I don't know if I said this on the last stream actually, the company down the road from me who it does printing for the Battle Cat miniatures, so I've ordered a couple of regiments for that. More of just a bit of a why not thing, but it'd be nice to paint them up. So we've got that coming as well at some point. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I honestly can't remember what was said last stream. So every time I drop one of these, I slightly panic. Just is that saber broken? Ugh. Okay, so now the chappie painted. They're really nice sculpts though. I know I've been saying that they're quite fragile, but they're so dynamic. As long as I can stop, as long as I avoid breaking them, which I think would be better if I put 2 to a base, just having a bigger base to pick up maybe. So I don't know, maybe further down the line I'll do something with that, but yeah, they look really nice. John, you're painting out some Hessians. Nice. Very nice. I feel like the detail on this black facing is going to be a bit of a challenge, just because it's so fiddly. Move that last message as I press the wrong button. That's all right. Right there. There's another troop there. Sort of done. Again, these guys are a bit fiddly because I'm painting them whilst they're on the horse. You kind of got to get in all those gaps. But it's doable. I've tempted to paint the Lancer flags at some point just because I want that red on there. I love the contrast paint. Yeah, I think as the talking flags for these units, I think for the 1st Virginia, I'm half tempted to just give them a Virginia State cavalry flag. I don't really know. I could just give them an Army of Northern Virginia cavalry flag. I think as a pride for the state thing, and maybe a Virginian state flag. And then, yeah, for the Texas Lancers, I'm going to give them a Bonnie Blue Star. The Bonnie Blue flag. Just because Texas, right? And it's a nice looking flag. Get that on the table. Right, we didn't break him. That's good. Ooh. Will you be doing a poll for the next series of paint? Good question mark. No, I won't. And I'll explain myself. Because I really want to get on and paint that Perry Miniatures ambulance. So I'm going to do that next series of live streams. So I'm going to be painting up that ambulance, which I don't think would take long anyway, so it'd probably be a couple of streams. But we'll paint up the ambulance and a unit of officers from Perry Miniatures. Not Perry Miniatures, Warlord Games. So I think I'll be doing that next stream. And then I don't know if I'll do a poll or not for the following stream, because by then I should have some infantry that I want to paint up. So I'm thinking of maybe just doing some infantry. It's nice to do the polls. But yeah, I'm not sure really. It would be nice to do the poll again because it was nice getting people involved. However, I'm just worried people pick something that yeah, I've not really got. For example, we could potentially do end up doing artillery again. I don't know. I'll see. I'll see how I'm thinking. I'll see how I'm feeling, because I've got artillery I can paint. I've got some officers I can paint, and by the time we get round to finishing the ambulance and stuff, I'll have some infantry. So yeah, we could do a poll after the ambulance, perhaps. I just quite fancy doing this infantry and checking it out, but yeah, it doesn't matter. The whole point in the stream is just to get on and paint a load of stuff, so it's going to get painted eventually. And then I think going forward, maybe on the poll, just do I'll exclude the stream we've just done. So for example, on this one, I just wouldn't have the cavalry in there, so it kind of forces us to move around a bit. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But yeah, for the next few streams, it will be of my choosing, which will be painting up that ambulance and some general and staff. And then, yeah, then we'll chuck it back to the poll. Oh, right. I made a drink to bring up here tonight and I ended up just necking it, so I should have brought one up. Right. Hear me out. What do we do now? So we've got the First Virginians down here. Now they wore all grey. We know that. We know that as a fact. What did the Fifth Texas wear? They're probably just going to wear a mix and match. Now we do have that my new favourite colour. If I can find it. Brownish Decay, which could work as a butternut. And then we do have the Agaros Dunes, which I've been using for my artillery butternut. And then we've got grey. So we could mix and match it, which is fine. It just takes more time. So let's just pick our first dude. Here we go. Oh, almost broken. Right, this guy is going to have a grey top and a butternut trousers. And I'm going to go for Agaros Dunes for my butternut on this one. As for his hat, we'll go for a leather. Which I might do a fire drake, I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm thinking of maybe adding some yellow into these units to denote that they are cavalry. Just not sure how I'm going to go about that. I mean, they're obviously cavalry, they're on horses, but yeah, I'm not sure. There you go. Coloured his trousers in. So if you in fact, you can see on here, see that front blanket roll on the front of the horse? Now that is the Brownish Decay, which I quite like as a butternut. And then the trousers is the Agaros, which is quite yellow, but I like it. I think I like it. Right, I'm going to do another trooper like that. Maybe this guy. There's a load of... Somehow I just miss parts of the model sometimes. You scratch your head how I've done it. Also, something I've noticed in between last stream and now is there you go, there's another pair of trousers. I'm going to quickly point it out. Nice. The colour variation is nice, to be frank. Yep. I'm trying to keep that variation up as much as I can without every model having a different colour. So, right, let's pick a Perry's Trooper, because if I drop him... Also, let's talk scale quickly. Just because these are printed... I can't actually remember what these are printed at. They might be... these are 3D printed by myself, obviously. They might be 100% based off the original file. So if you look at Perry's... Now this guy is at more of a gallop, the Studio Historia one, so he's going to be a bit more spread out and lower to the ground. But yeah, there is a bit of a size difference. I don't think you would notice it when they're in two different units. However, I started printing my stuff at about 105%, my Studio Historia. So I don't know if this batch here is a batch of 105% printed ones or not. And there's no way to know. So, yeah. Anyway, right, I got distracted. I need a little doofer. Let's go for that. Right, so on the cavalry miniature, we've got this here, like the blanket underneath the saddle. Now I've been looking online, especially something like the Perry miniature box set art and stuff, and they're actually a coloured blanket. So I've just gone for like a brown So they should really be coloured, and I've seen a lot of them use a grey blue, a bit like what I've used for the blanket rolls. So I think in hindsight, if I were to do another cavalry regiment, I would paint that on the blanket a different colour rather than just brown, which I've gone with the saddle. Purely because one, it's a bit more realistic, but two, it does add just a bit more colour to the model. So the Studio Storia prints look nicer sculpts than the Perry ones, I reckon. More dynamic. 100%. They are more dynamic. Just more brittle and more likely to break, which is a problem. A problem to me. So the only thing I would wish is if I would increase the pole strength on them, like the lances and stuff like that, and the flag bearers, and I'd increase the saber and scabbard sizes, which I technically have the ability to do through software. I just don't want to. But yeah, that's the only thing I would say is I wish I would probably do that, but it's not massively a problem. Just got to be gentle. I guess it'd be interesting to see how they survive on the table being played with. That's the real test, I think. What should I give this officer trousers? Should I give him some like federal sky blue trousers? It's always fun to see. Gone for a decayed brown for his frock coat. But way nicer working with plastic minis, Ben says. Yeah. For example, this like these Studio Storia ones. Again, this is down to the resin I'm using. I'm sure of it. I could probably just use a tougher resin, but at the moment, every time I drop these, they break. It's getting a bit annoying. Oh, this is such a nice colour. This works really well for the butternut, I think. Also, what's nice is having that variation butternuts. Because one, you would have butternut like variation butternuts, but if you want to do butternut trousers and butternut jacket, you can still have it looking a bit different. There he is. So I've chosen to go for a let me put the light on. I chose to go with a button-up this officer, just because the 1st Virginia officer is in grey. So I'm going to put this guy in button-up, just so they stand out a little bit more. Right. Happy with that. The camera, for some reason, makes it look really weird, but it does look nice. We'll see what trousers I give him. We could have a bit of fun with it and give him blue trousers. Again, I don't mind missing or overpainting some of the black strapping on these guys, because the black's always going to go over the butternut or a grey. So I'm less worried about getting it everywhere. Obviously, I'll avoid the skin patches because it's not the end of it. I just go back and fill in the bits that I've overpainted. But it's a step that you can try and avoid. If you're trying to save time, then let's try avoid extra steps. This guy here has got a necktie on. Or a bit of cloth around his neck, so I've got to think about what colour I want to do that. I could either go yellow, just because it's a cavalry regiment. I'd like to, I don't know. Again, even if it's not super historically accurate, having yellow, like hints of yellow in the regiment makes them stand out on the table top. So I could do a yellow. Maybe I just go for a red. Red always looks nice. Alright. This guy's going to be awkward. Cool. Maybe we'll hit this chap with a lighter butternut jacket. Another thing with these miniatures, that some of the details are so fine. I don't know how I'm going to paint them. Paint them to a good standard. Like some of the buttons, shirt buttons and stuff, are so small. It's almost, the detail's almost too good. That makes sense. It'll all be worth it at the end. Sure of it. I'm excited to get these finished up though, because they're going to look smart. Oh yeah, just remembered. So I don't know if I said about. I was looking to get some Battle Cat miniatures printed. Now they do some Lancer arms is in their part of their STL collection. So the chap I'm ordering some minis off is going to print me up some Lancer arms as well, so I can basically bolt them onto some Perry Miniatures cavalry. Assuming all the scales right, but it should be. Maybe. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Get that Pennsylvania Cavalry Regiment painted up. All right, let's compare these now. I know I've basically been comparing them, but so yeah, button up, but different colours. So yeah, I think because again, like I think you could go into the trap of doing like grey Confederates, whereas butternut I think was a lot more used heavily as well, especially maybe in something like sort of Georgian or Texan regiments and stuff like that. So maybe Virginian regiments you might go for more grey, but I think for some of the other regiments that would butternuts would be a bit more. No. I've gone and given him blue trousers. No real reason apart from I like it. I've missed a bit of this Kind of glad I've given this guy the darker color anyway, this officer, because he's gonna have a bright white yellow sash on him. So yeah, I've given him what trouser color which I've been using for the Union, just because he's kind of looted them, and I think I'll put a yellow stripe on his legs for cavalry because that would be smart. Right, let me do these. So these guys are gonna have grey jackets. I could probably put them with grey trousers, maybe. Don't know. Oh, they're some of them are such nice sculpts. They really they've got the detail on it. It's just made them a genuine pleasure to paint, which is nice as well, because you don't want to slog them. I know some people are machines and can do it, but I don't particularly want to slog through a miniature. But just having that detail and making it fun to paint, it just yeah, it's enjoyable. Right. This guy's going to be in all grey, why not? And this guy is going to be dark button-up trousers, light button-up top. Don't need to overthink it sometimes. And then as for the I want to put yellow markings on these trousers. I'll probably do that in just normal paint. I probably won't use a contrast just because I've not left the lines there. Right, so let's maybe put that guy maybe grey trousers, and those are button-up tops, and he's in all grey. Yeah, okay. I think I like that. Let's get some more aggro. I could also I could be using Skeleton Horde as well. I could be using that as a button up. Which maybe I do. Maybe I give it a go. I don't know. Tell you what, let's hit these greys a sec. Oh, his sabre's gone. I forgot that. But yeah, I don't know where it is. So he's got a lance anyway. He doesn't need a sword. Again, most of these chaps are sculpted with neckties, so I'm wondering about just making them all yellow neckties. Again, just to have that yellow colour theme in the unit. It's one of the nicer things about doing cavalry units is you have potentially that yellow markings, whether that's on the trousers or the keppies. Hmm. It's got the buckles to do. All the belts and stuff last, and then that should really tie the miniature in. Cool. Red neckties with yellow polka dots. Ah, if I imagine if I was that good at painting, then maybe. But alas. This decaying brownish decay is almost like a khaki, which is yeah, might be worth remembering that for any future projects. Cool. I'm dreading doing all the black detailing on some of these guys. When I did them on the Perrys, it's all a bit more pronounced and bold, so it makes it a little bit easier, but I'm worried this is going to be a bit fiddlier. Cool. All grey trousers. This guy's going to be in all grey because we're buying that. It's allowed. It's another thing I think with doing mixed uniforms is sometimes be worried about doing a guy wearing all, if you're like, well, I'm going to mix match all these uniforms, and before you know it, everyone's got odd uniforms, whereas sometimes having someone in grey trousers and grey jacket is perfectly fine. And it's perfectly fine if it's models you're painting up for your own collection and you get to do what you want. I wonder if the fact that these chaps have got their lances have got like red flags on them or pennants. I wonder if their rank insignia would be a similar red, or should I go for yellow for cavalry? I've noticed that some of these prints I printed off, I didn't realise at the time they're NCOs, so they got the corporal rank. So this unit of lancers has quite a few corporals in it. Yeah, I don't know if I should show that through yellow. Don't know yet. We'll figure it out. I think having a yellow stripe in there is going to look really nice though. The trousers. Maybe I'll have a bit more look at some source material for the lancers and see what if there's any NCOs in the pictures or paintings and see what they wore, what colour stuff they wore. Oh, right, he's going to go in a grey jacket, and then I think that guy's going to have a butternut jacket, and the other one's going to have a light jacket. Again, I think with these the Lancer regiment especially is a volunteer regiment, this one, so I think maybe you'd have more mixed uniforms. So you might have found some of these guys turned up in their own clothes and just that was it. And then it's just whatever they can pick up on campaign. Maybe I should have given them another trooper with blue trousers. I'd like to think they would loot the Union supplies when they could. That's why some of them might be wearing Union trousers. I don't know what the rules were around it during the war. I don't know whether it was just get what you can, or if there were strict rules. Because I assume they wouldn't wear Union blue tunics. Although, what regiment was it? One of Longstreet's units during a battle. Oh, what battle was it? I want to say like Chickamauga or something like that. One of his units were marching onto the battlefield in brand new blue uniform. I think they got fired upon by Confederates, thinking they were Union. Right. Yeah, I'm liking that. So we're going to go Agaros Dunes for one of these, and then I'm going to go for a Skeleton Horde on the other. Just because I'm thinking the Skeleton Horde could work there. If it doesn't work well, we'll start again with it. Looking forward to getting to the point of working on the skin tones though. Always at the moment my more enjoyable part of painting the miniature is getting the skin colours on. Because that just really makes the miniature seem a bit more lifelike, I think. Well, oh no, just a little bit. I was about to say we're done. Bring in the skin paint. Put the painting the skin. I think just really makes a difference, and they just seem a bit more complete. Which to be honest, I'm not far off finishing these guys anyway. We've got another hour. I said hopefully we'd have these done tonight. Maybe, not sure we will. But I think whatever we do tonight, we'll just finish these on stream. Because we're going to be close anyway. Right, what was I talking about a minute ago? Bone. Skeleton Horde is what I would like. Give this one a shake. But I mean, saying that, I'm thinking maybe the black detailing, like all the belts and stuff, might take a while. That's the only problem. But maybe we'll just paint the fun stuff in a minute. Like I really want to get these spears painted, all the lances. This is Skeleton Horde. So we're going to put this on as a button up and we'll see what people think. It's very light. But again, I think it can work. Perhaps. I wonder what facing colours the cavalry flag bearer would have. I wonder if it would be yellow. Maybe a quick Google will tell us. I've got to paint these chaps' hats as well, and I haven't settled on a hat colour yet. I haven't settled on what colour I think works well for the Confederate hats. So that might be a problem. Yeah. See what you think of that. Ah! Just drop that guy again. This is the three tones. They're all on the jackets for the button up. So at the very front we've got the lightest, which is Skeleton Horde from Citadel. Then the middle one is Agros Dunes from Citadel, which is quite yellowy, but I like it. And then the very back one is Brownish Decay from Army Painter. So yeah. Again, if you wanted a fully button-up unit, I think there's enough variation there to get away with it. Right, shall I just paint the flags on these lances in a minute? Just because I just really want to do it. And then it's going to be dull painting black. Facings and stuff. Let's do the fun bit. I think this is what's going to make this unit pop a bit more on the tabletop of these red pennants. Voila! I like it a lot. Cool. Yeah, the tricky bit is pull the mounts away whilst we paint it. Yeah, that worked. Another flag. Got a bounce. Enjoy the stream. Nice to see the cav coming together. See you later, Ben. Thank you very much for stopping by. Take it steady. And hopefully the cav will be done. That's the thing, like, once you've kind of painted the trooper and painted the horse, you kind of think, oh, that's it. But, I mean, I haven't finished the trooper technically. I've still got all the webbing, all the straps and stuff. But, yeah, surprising how sometimes, you know, you could be just, oh, I'll quickly do this on the miniatures, and then next, you know, it's like an hour's gone by, you know what I mean? And I think that's going to happen now. I think I'm going to start painting the belts on the and the facings on the first Virginia, and then before I know it, it'll be 10. So yeah, we'll see. It would be nice to have this as the last cavalry stream for a little bit, but we'll see how we go. Cool. So you can't really see them, but they're in the back here. I'm just not going to move them a minute because they're drying. So that is the Lancer flags done, which is not an important job, but it's a job that needs to be done. So we've done that now. Yeah, I think we'll hit the black facings now. So we'll need black. I can never remember which is the good black. Black Legion, I think it is. Let's do the fiddly bit. Oh, right. So these guys have got a black stripe down their trousers. So we'll paint that in. As well as the sword belt. And then the main belt. See, I could paint the pistol holster brown just to break up the black. Maybe I could just alternate it across the unit. Maybe this guy with a black holster, and we'll see what we think. Right, they got black arm facings, and this guy is a corporal. Let's get his chevron sorted. Black collars as well. Mm-hmm. Similar facings to the infantry buglers, and they were a pain to do. I think I'll just get them near enough. All right. Yeah. So he's got those facings on his chest. Which I think this camera makes it look better than it is. But, right, let's use this guy. So start again with the black stripe down there. This guy's got a cartridge pouch as well. Or not a cartridge. Well, yeah, he's got a cartridge, but also a percussion cap pouch. All right. I realise these facings are actually a lot easier than I thought. I thought they were all a bit like the bugler, which is quite a lot going on, where these are just straight across, so they're a bit easier to do, which is nice. Get the crossbow in. Right, mustn't forget the cuffs as well. They're important. Yeah. I think so. Oh. Another trooper done. Hmm. Um. This is a nice pose. With his sword ready. Rather than a super dynamic. It's almost, what's that? The canter? At the canter, or the, I think that's when before they charge, they sort of like trot in. I'm not clued up on cavalry interactions, to be honest. Movements and I've got the infantry handbook, and that's it. Cavalry's something that slipped by. Maybe I wasn't in the right class for it. I think it's the one before the gallop. Yeah, is that what can? Right. Yeah, so gallop would be just before charge, right? Because that's the thing with like charging cavalry units stuff. They only really went full whack at the last little bit. So they weren't like running across a massive field at full charge. So I guess the horses would get tired and then lose the impact. So yeah, they'd wait till the... Oh, I didn't do that guy's collar. Whoops. Can't remember that. These guys had black collars. All this brush is given up, I think. Hey Robert, welcome in. Hi everyone there, looking great. Thank you very much. We've yeah, we're chugging along. This could potentially be the stream we finish these regiments on, maybe. I've said it a couple of times now, but so, you know, like some steps just surprisingly take a long time, you know. So we're doing all the black facings on the 1st Virginia in a minute. Yeah. It's getting there. It's getting there. I don't know if you've started the stream here or if you were watching it from the start at some point, but in between last stream and now, I've actually started painting up a Union cavalry regiment. Just because I wanted to do some painting, but I didn't want to paint these miniatures because I kind of wanted to save them for the stream. So yeah, I started up a Union 1, which have come along nicely. In some places are actually a bit ahead of this one, so all these regiments. But yeah, the 1st Virginia is not miles away actually. I've got a slight sticking point on figuring out what to paint the hats on the Texas cavalry. So I think I'd like browns, but I've not really found a brown that I like for hats yet. So yeah, that's the only thing I'm not 100% sure about. Is how I paint that. But you working on anything, Robert? You had a busy weekend or a nice relaxed one? I've had a medium one. So I took my daughter out yesterday, went bowling and grabbed some food. And then I've had some work done on the house, so I had my fridge currently in the front room because they were sorting my kitchen out. So I had to move the fridge back today. That was a today job, which went better than expected. It's a big double fridge freezer, so I had to kind of pull that across my brand new flooring, which was a bit. I didn't want to damage the floor, which I didn't. It was successful. So yeah, I had that today. Went over the in-laws. Watched a bit of rugby. What was it? Right, I've still not painted. I keep missing parts on these guys. How's the arm scrape? It's good, thank you. For anyone who doesn't know, I hurt my arm the other day. There you go. It's on the stream. I fell over in the bath, actually. I was having a shower in my bath. But I fell over and put my elbow through the bath. So I'm currently in the market for a new bath. That's what I was doing yesterday. I went out bath shopping, but so I've got to order that now. We've more or less settled on a bath, and then that'll be next weekend's job to go and fit it. I've not painted this guy's collar as well. What have I been doing? Or was this the miniature I was painting stuff with? Not sure. But yeah, my arm's a lot better, thanks, man. It's a bit sore to lean on, but that's about. Not at the moment. Having trouble with my hips. Need new ones. Ah, oh. Damn. Well, is that something in the pipeline? Something you're chasing up? Get them hips replaced? I was just telling a story of me going bowling yesterday with my daughter, which in theory should have been nice and chill, right? Anyway, I got a bit carried away and I've pulled a muscle in my ass. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty rubbish right now. Hey, Blake, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. How's your weekend going? We're just talking about our busy weekends and not so busy weekends. I don't know when you last caught up with the stream, Blake, but we are chugging along with this cavalry. I'm hoping that maybe we'll have them finished tonight. Who knows? Who knows? So we got some fun stuff to paint up on our next, once this cavalry's done, our next set of streams. A bit different, a bit more relaxed. So that'll be fun. And I'm really looking forward to get on with it. So we're just chugging on with these cavalry, getting them done. 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 Hopefully not too long, but with the backlog, probably it will be after Christmas. Oh, that's a shame, but at least it's in process of getting done, I guess. But hopefully you're not going to have a unpleasant Christmas because of it. Cool. Oh, we're almost there with the Virginia cavalry. Whoops. Oh yeah, he's missing his just realised that. I don't know if that's a sculpt error or not. Oh, is this the guy that hasn't got his weapon? Yeah. Facings. He's just like a normal cavalryman because he hasn't got any piping on his jacket, which is fine. Also, he's missing the strapping holding his sword to his belt, which is weird. Not sure what that's about. Maybe it was just missed when they were sculpting him, I don't know. And this guy's a little bit easier, less detailing to paint, I guess. He's got the hat, so that's fine. Still fits in with the unit. I don't mind now. At this point, I'm sort of done with painting black. It's too. The horses look really good. Thank you, Blake. That's kind. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a cavalry expert. This is probably one of the larger cavalry projects I've done in my hobby career. So yeah. And it's it's made very easy by contrast paints. So, but yeah, I'm actually really enjoying them at the moment, to be honest. I've really enjoyed painting these sculpts because they're full of life, full of flavour. But also, it's kind of given me an appreciation for Perry miniature sculpts because there's strengths and weaknesses to both of these sets. These 3D prints as well as Perry miniatures. So yeah, it's made me appreciate them both really, which is cool. Ah, these are going to look menacing on the table, though, I think. These 1st Virginia Cavalry, just because they're all in like grey and black, they're just going to look like, yeah, they're going to look nice. Oh, I didn't check. Did that guy have stripes on his trousers? I'm sure he did. Hmm. Yeah, it would have been nicer to do a better job on those jacket facings, the breast facings, but they're so close together, I'm not really sure how to make them stand out. If they were a bright colour, you probably could make them stand out a bit more, but because it's black, it's sort of get lost into each other, which is, yeah, not a problem. What colour do you reckon I should do the straps for the swords, for the sabres? It's got like arm loops or hand loops, so a bit like a Wii controller for anyone who doesn't know. Yeah, they've got like a Nintendo Wii controller strap on them so they don't drop their swords. Wonder what colour I do them. Anyway, they're done. So I'll do the skin next, just because I like the look of it, and then we will then just finish off the bits like the metals, the woods, the guns that are on there. Some of these guys have got shotguns on them. But no, they're looking nice actually. They're looking really nice. The dark colours are looking pretty menacing. Ah, right. Time you want. Well, that took about a bit quicker than I thought it would, so that's nice. Let's get on and do the same for the Texas Lancers. I won't do the hats in black, I don't think. I'm not sure how I'm doing the hats yet. Maybe the hats are something we leave for another for the next stream if we're still doing these cav. I don't really want to rush them and then be unhappy with the result. So maybe we'll have a figure out what colours we want to go for. Alright, that's nice and simple. That's one. We pull these forward and then as I finish them I can put them back. You'll probably will after the horses you've painted. After all the horses you've painted, yeah. Well, I've not got, apart from all my officers on horseback, I don't know if I've got much mounted cavalry left. I've got a box set of cavalry down here unbuilt, which I was saying at the start, Robert, I've ordered some miniatures from 3D printer, and part of that is some Lancer arms. And I'm hoping that they will go well with the Perry Miniatures plastic cavalry. And then I'll paint. So basically, I can do some. I'm gonna do some Union Lancers. It says that Pennsylvania Regiment. So someone recommended them. I can't quite remember who. It might have been you, Robert. I can't remember. But they recommended doing some Pennsylvania Lancers. So I think I'm going to do that. So that might take up the rest of that box set down here. If not, I might be able to squeeze another cavalry regiment out of them. And yeah, I'm sure what I'll do with that. I need more Union cavalry, to be honest, because at the moment my mounted cavalry, I think what I've got here, including my collection, I'll have 4 Confederate regiments and just 1 Union. So yeah, I'll do some, probably do a bit more Union. I just thought, I don't think these guys have got cartridge boxes. They don't. I wonder why that is. Maybe because they're Lancers. Because they've got the percussion cap pouch on them, so they're firing something. But no cartridge box. Oh yeah, something we've got to do with this unit as well, these Lancers, is find out what I'm gonna paint their NCO chevrons in, what colour. Either yellow or red, and I've just snapped off the Lancer. La la la. Oh, every time I drop one of these, I just wince at the thought of snapping something because they just break every time. It's annoying. The only redeeming quality. Oh, I was meant to be mess that up. The only redeeming factor is the glue takes quite well to them, so I can just glue it on. I've just painted over part of the sash. This guy's gonna have a yellow sash, so I want to leave that so it shows up better. Might give him a don't really know actually. Let's paint the black plume here at least. And we'll decide what. Maybe we give him a button-up hat. How many Civil War miniatures do you have in your collection? That's a very good question. In 28mm, I would probably guess at somewhere around sort of 1200 maybe. But I've had that was sort of the last time I stock checked, and I have added to it sort of. So yeah, I don't know. I would guess between 12 and 1500. And that's obviously infantry, artillery, cavalry. I need to have it all out at some point and check it again. Oh. Hmm. Alright. Right, yeah. So some of the artwork I've seen for the Lancers is they've got like a golden star on the front of the hat. Now these are sculpted with that. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna do that obviously, and then I've just got to figure out what hat color I want to do. So I could chuck some black hats in, I guess. I'm thinking them all leather, but that gold star I think will look nice on any color hat. Like I said, I will just hold fire on all the rank insignia and stuff until I know what colour I want to do it. Because if it's something different, like red or something like that, that's fine. I can do it. I just don't want to assume do it yellow, for example, and then it be wrong. It doesn't massively matter. Robert, I don't know how true this is, but I've heard Facebook that on Facebook that Warlord will be bringing out a plastic set of Lancers for the American Civil War. I've not heard it, but also I'm not massively in the loop at the moment, so it could have easily got past me. I guess the easy way to tell would be seeing what Forgotten Glorious had in their range before they went under. Because if they had some Lancers, then it's very much possible that we could be seeing it. This is where the rumours of the Iron Brigade have come out, look, because we know that they did a set of Iron Brigade miniatures. So yeah. And when you mean plastic, does that mean resin? Because plastic would, I don't think they would be using Forgotten Glorious if they were doing plastic, because that would be a whole new sculpt, if I'm right. Whereas obviously the Forgotten Glorious stuff, which were metals, Warlord have basically made into resin. So yeah, I'm assuming you mean resin. But yeah, no, cool. Don't dislike the idea, and I'll pick up a box set because I've really enjoyed the Warlord games range so far. The old Forgotten Glorious range. It's been so much fun to paint. They're full of flavour and character, so I'd definitely pick up a box. All depends what you get in there. I'm guessing it'd be what if we're gonna go down that rabbit hole of speculation. I would guess you would get 12 in a box, and it would be which is fine. How many do we reckon it would be actually? I don't know what they normally sell. I don't know what they sell. I've never bought cavalry from Warlord Games, so I couldn't tell you how they normally do their boxes, but I would guess it'd be 12, like a 3-man command, and the rest being troopers. Unless they do them as like a dismounted and mounted box in all in one, that'd be really cool. I'd be interested to get some dismounted cavalry. That would be cool. But yeah, my assumption would be, assuming it's the Forgotten Glorious range, unless they were going to release their own set of miniatures. But then, if I was Warlord Games and went down the route of going, they've just bought an American Civil War range through Forgotten Glorious. I say just bought, they bought a long time ago. I think I'd want my range to match. So if they went to make a whole fresh range of miniatures, I don't know. Just thinking out loud. Benjamin Christensen, welcome in. Hi there. Wow, you paint a lot of cavalry. Every time I stumble upon your live streams, you seem to paint a new unit of cavalry. This is the same units, although I'll show this off a minute. This is the same unit, so yeah, I'm just painting it's taken a while. It's because I'm not painting these units in between streams. This is purely for the streams. But what I have done in between last stream is paint up these Union cavalry, so they're being currently painted. So I've done that in between last Sunday's stream. Yeah. So yeah, I've actually technically painted up some more cavalry. It's not just this lot, but but the main ones for the stream is the 1st Virginia and the 5th Texas Lancers. So, or 5th Company of the 5th Texas Lance, a Lancer Company of the 5th Texas Mounted Rifles. But thank you very much. That's very kind, Benjamin. Thank you. At the moment, I've got no other plans for cavalry. It's just what I've got in front of me here, which is 3 regiments worth. But we were talking earlier. I've got like a box set of cav that need building up at some point, and then who knows what the future will bring. I do have, excuse me, I do have some more STL files I could print from Studio Historia, like their normal cavalries, because these are obviously 2 specific units, but they've got like a generic cavalry. And obviously dismounted cavalry is a thing as well. Right, so hats for them, I'm not sure. Let's see if we can find out about these Texas Lancers and what they wore. I'm worried this painting won't show any of the... There's an officer there, that's fine. I don't think it'll show any NCOs or anything, no. So I want to know what they... yeah, what their officers' chevrons would be. Right, here's someone else. I can't click on this picture. So this is showing them with yellow markings. Blake, is the Union Cavalry Perry Miniatures? Yes, it's the Perry Miniature plastic box set. It is. Which are nice. I like them. Texas Lancers. Can we just see any pictures of their officers or NCOs just to see if I should give them yellow chevrons or maybe something different? We ain't gonna find out, are we? Shame. I could just give them yellow chevrons and yellow cavalry markings just because it looks nice. I don't know what people's thoughts are. Put down in the chat what you think. I'm happy to do either. I like the fact that these the Lancers have these red pennants on their lances. I just think that looks really nice, so I could look at doing red chevrons. Obviously red being tending to be artillery. Whereas these are Lancers. These are cavalry. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the chat, and I think I'll. A part of me thinks just yellow. They're cavalry after all. Just go yellow. And then I'm going to go do their neckties quickly. 1st Virginia, I can leave them to dry a minute, and then I'll just chuck the skin on. All their skin flesh tones. I could do maybe a mixture of red neckties and yellow. All right. Oh, how many times do I drop these? Right, there's a couple of red neckties. That can be a red necktie, that can be a yellow. Cavalry was yellow, so I would say yellow. Yeah, I'm drawn to doing that, I must admit. It's just obviously some units went different colours. But yeah, I think I will just go yellow. They do have these are sculpted with stripes on the trousers as well, so I can give them yellow stripes. Yeah, I just didn't want to. I didn't want to make an assumption and paint them red or yellow, sorry, just in case for whatever reason the Texas Cavalry iconically had a different colour. But I can't really see the only information I've got about is Don Triani's 5th Texas at Valverde artwork. It's kind of all I can go off. There's one picture on Pinterest, but for me to access it, I need to log in, and I don't really want to. Let's just do that, sod it. Alright, okay. Let's see how they've done it. Yeah, to be honest, they have given them all yellow facings and cuffs, which I've not done. So we'll go yellow. Same thing, so I'm not going to be able to do the yellow contrast paint for it because I've kind of gone over it. So this yellow contrast is just going to be for the neckties here because I deliberately left them unpainted. Some of the Civil War books I've been reading through, a few of the pictures of the Lancers who seem to be in different colours. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think you're right. Blake's right. Lancers, cavalry are yellow, so maybe I just go with yellow. Right, this guy needs his yellow sash because he is an officer. And an officer of cavalry. Ultimately, it's my own collection and it's rule of cool, and having the yellow cav, I quite like the look of having those yellow markings on the tabletop, so I think I'll just go with that. Cool. Again, maybe I should have done that guy's collar yellow. I'm pretty sure I've done. Yeah, I think I'll repaint the officer's collar. I think I'll repaint that and just do it a yellow officer collar. The officer gloves now. Sort of just what time is it? 10:02. Okay. Well, I think what I'm going to do is just get this these gloves painted on this officer, and I might go back and do the flesh colours on the 1st Virginia because then they're done. We're more or less there. We're more or less. I think what this is going to be is just another one last stream, and that should finish them off, I think. I guess if I'm painting that white, I might as well paint the markings white and use the yellow I've got. Sounds like a good idea. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's all coming together. Really happy with how it's coming out so far. Let's get this flesh done because that's always a fun step to do. And then really with the 1st Virginia, it's just the weapon, like the firearms. Like some of them have got shotguns and carbines on them. It's just painting them up. And then more or less done. Probably the metallics and the golds for the buttons and swords and horse buckles. So I can't forget about. I'm going to have to remember that. Horses are technically not finished yet because they are... I need to finish the what was it? Tackle, whatever it's called. All strapping. Pretty sure this bit here, I thought it was part of the model. It's not. Looks like it's just an old support. Right, that can go there. Yeah, it really makes it pop once the flash is done, I think. My old painting method, when I was just using paints and washing and layering, I did find these hard to paint because the facial textures are quite flat. They're not as pronounced as other miniatures would be. However, since I've shifted to using contrast paints, they really bring all that detail out. So, yeah. Don't know if you can see that. But yeah, yeah, it works. The contrast works really well. I've just bent that. It's all right. But yeah, here he is getting shot. Casualty. Perhaps he's at First Manassas and he's been shot in the charge. Right, some of these Confederate sculpts as well, they've got sort of like pistols tucked into their belts and stuff, which is really cool, but just got to remember to paint them. Can't forget about them. Again, it's kind of a handy thing with using contrast paints because you're using white as a base, as a primer and a base color. Bits you haven't painted stand out more. So it's a good way of being like, ah, yes, I've not painted that bit yet. Still, actually, yeah, I've got a lot left to paint on these guys. Thinking about it. I've got all their canteens. I haven't finished. I think I used those pens to do the metallics. Was it last stream? And it's admittedly the pen is just called polished silver, but it is quite bright. So I think I might have to hit a known wash on it just to bring it back down, which is fine. Other bits I've missed somehow. I really like that pose, to be honest. Storming in and about to cut someone. Hello, Flesh Clouds. Welcome in. I don't mean to worry you, but there's a little man hiding behind your paint pots. He keeps popping out when you take your eyes off the table. It's not one of these guys I'm painting, is it? Hmm. Well, do I paint the skin on the lances or do I do the hats first? Hmm. We'll leave that, I think. Well, I might just quickly paint the white on these guys and then that's done. And then we can sign off. Because we'll probably end the stream there. It's been a very good stream. Yeah, I don't want to go too much, get a bit tired and then make mistakes. And that needs watering down. Drop this guy. By the looks of it, I've already glued this chap's sword, so I've already dropped him at some point. Maybe I just invest in a better holding handle, to be honest. Maybe that's the answer. It's not the model's fault. Alright. Yep. Okay. So, oh, actually, do I give him... I'm going to give him stripes on the trousers as well. Paint them white. What am I doing here? Oh, I wonder if I should do this guy's facings in yellow then. Probably should, shouldn't I? There you go. So these guys need... That's just those two, that's fine. But yeah, these will be a fun unit to finish, I think. It will be worth it. Right, those guys are ready for their chevrons to be painted. These chaps do not need chevrons painting. Cool. Oh yes, let's just take a gander at this guy. I'm quite happy with him. So I've gone for that compared to the same sculpt. But I've gone for 2 different looks, you know. So yeah, fairly happy. Fairly happy with it. Oh, and then yeah, that yellow sash, which looks cool. So yeah, nice. Right. I'm glad I was able to sit down and watch you tonight, as it gets uncomfortable nowadays, as I missed you last week. That's all right. I'm hoping your hips aren't giving you too much bother, but we're yeah, we're getting somewhere. These obviously you guys can't really see, but they're really, as a unit, they're really coming together. It's looking nice on the table now. And yeah, the first Virginia is almost done. And then yeah, those Dastly Yanks I've just started as well. Which again, I'm just going to do that in between streams, so they'll chug along. And because there's less details on the Perry stuff, I'm hoping they'll be quicker. But yeah, I'm going to run the stream up there. It's 10 o'clock. We've done a couple of hours, which is good. I know I've done longer ones in the past, but not tonight, I'm afraid. So thank you everyone for stopping by. Blake, Robert, Flash, Ben, Mark, thank you for stopping by. Again, if anyone's still watching this back on YouTube, thank you very much. Also, those of you guys live, thank you very much. And if you've missed anything, feel free to check out the previous streams. They're all in the playlist. You can check out how we started this and how we've been getting on with this, as well as the previous artillery block. But yeah, until then, have a good rest of your Sunday. Have a good week. And I'll be back here same time next Sunday. See you later, everybody. Bye-bye.